हाय फ्रेंड्स, आज का जो टॉपिक है वो है एक्सेलरेशन। तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं। लेट्स स्टार्ट। सो व्हाट इज एक्सेलरेशन? एज वी ऑल नो, एक्सेलरेशन is the change in velocity divided by change in time. That is the acceleration. And the formula, mathematical formula of acceleration is A equal to V minus U divided by time t, where U is the initial velocity and V is the final velocity. So whenever there is a change in velocity, that is called acceleration. Or remember this thing, the velocity is changing anywhere. If velocity is changing, that is means acceleration is happening. So remember this thing, changing velocity equal to acceleration. So now the thing is, how velocity changes. Velocity how changes? Here you are seeing that velocity is changing. Now you should know how velocity changes. So the thing is, how velocity changes. See, velocity changes in three types. Velocity changes when, number one, there is a changes of magnitude of velocity, or you can say magnitude of velocity changes, or there is a direction of velocity changes, or both magnitude and direction changes. Then velocity will change. Now you will ask how the magnitude of velocity changes. So let's see one by one how the magnitude of velocity changes. So let's suppose there is a point A and a point is B, and a car is moving from point A towards point B. So, and from point B to point C. So suppose when the car was at point A, that time when he moves from point A to point B, that time its velocity V equal to 10 meter per second towards north or towards B. When this car moves from A to B, that time its velocity was 10 meter per second towards north. What is this 10 meter per second? This is a magnitude, absolutely. Similarly, when this car moves from point B to point C, that time its velocity was 15 meter per second towards north. Hence north is the direction is same, only the magnitude is changing. See, there is a 15 meter per second of velocity when it was traveling from B to C, and it was 10 meter per second when it was traveling from A to B. So this 10 meter magnitude is changes to 15 meter magnitude. So there is only change of magnitude. So magnitude is changing, so the velocity will change, or you can say velocity is changing. So velocity is changing from point A to point C. Then you can say the body is acceleration or acceleration. Next, we will see how direction of velocity changes. As we see earlier, how magnitude of velocity changes. Next we will see how direction of velocity changes. So how the direction of velocity changes, we will see here. How direction of velocity changes. See, suppose a car is at a point P, okay, and that time its speed was, it was traveling on a road, and when he reached as point P, that time its velocity was 5 meter per second towards north. Okay, now there is a how direction changes. So when suppose this car changes its direction from point P to here, reach here, that time its velocity was same as 5 meter per second. But see the direction, instead of going north, the direction changes towards west. So there is a change in direction towards west. So we can say velocity is changing. There is a change of direction means velocity is changing. So acceleration is happening. So this is called. Next we will calculate how the acceleration is to be calculated. Calculation of acceleration. How we will know there is a acceleration happening. So suppose a car is at a point A. Okay, when it is a point A, that time it is a initial velocity is 0, u equal to 0 meter per second. Okay, when this car reaches at point B, that time its velocity was 12 meter per second, or you can say at initial velocity of car when it was standing, that time 0 meter per second, and when it reached as point B, that time its velocity was 12 meter per second, and the time taken is 3 seconds. So acceleration will be v minus u upon time. So when we put the numerical value, it will come 12 meter per second upon 3 seconds, it will come 4 meter per second square, which is the SI unit of 4 meter per second square. So this is all about acceleration. Now I will ask you some example of acceleration. You just tell me where there is a acceleration happening or not. See the example first. This is a car moving in a straight line with the same speed. You just tell me, is there acceleration? See the car, it's moving. Is there acceleration? The answer is no, because there is no change of velocity. The speed is constant, so velocity is constant. There is no change of velocity. Next, check this car. This car running at a constant speed, constant velocity. Is there any acceleration? The answer is no, because there is no change of velocity or change of direction. Similarly, see this example. A car is moving, again it stops. When signal gets green, again it started. Once again, see, signal is red, stopped, again signal green, started. So is there acceleration? Answer is yes, because the car is at a point when the speed see their speed is 0 or some speed 1 or 2 meter per second. Suddenly he accelerated and gets a speed of something else, so there is a acceleration. Okay, see the next example. Now tell me, is there any acceleration? Is there acceleration? See, a plane is landing and it stops. Yes, there is a acceleration. Right, because there is a change in velocity. So you can say the acceleration is change in velocity, and change in velocity may be happen in change in speed, and change in direction, or change in both. All of these three, if anything is changes, either speed or direction or both, then we can say velocity is changing, and velocity is changing means there is a existence of acceleration. You can understand by this example. See the gauge, see the red gauge and blue gauge. When the car is moving from this point to this point and taking a turn, so velocity and acceleration both are changing. So if you want to define what is acceleration, you can note down this. Acceleration is a measure of the change in the velocity of an object per unit time, and mathematically it is shown as acceleration equal to change in velocity upon time taken. Or if the velocity of an object changes from an initial value u to final value v in time t, then acceleration is given by a equal to v minus v divided by t, and SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square. So if you like the video, please hit like, share to your friends, and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you.